my dear champions. I welcome you today to this amazing learning bite where we are going to talk about learning everything quickly and how to become a super learner. And when we discuss about this, there's a question that comes to our mind. When we say super learners, who are super learners? What is this being a super learner all about? Let's discuss that quickly and get more knowing about it. Well, to be honest, a super learner is someone who has the super learning ability to comprehend and understand a tremendous amount of data in a fairly short amount of time, where we say it's grasping power. So you're quickly able to understand things. Also, super in a super learner can really mean a fast learner or a swift learner. It's all about in the shortest span of time, how well can you learn? Now, when we have understood this, this gives us two questions to ask to ourselves. First, can you become a super learner? We all might have a question. Can I become a super learner if I am yet not there and I feel that I can learn better than this one? The pace of learning that I have currently can improve. Can I really do that? That's the first question. The second question is, why is it important to become one? Well, becoming a super learner is one of the most important skills you need to succeed in the 21st century. In this age of massive technological changes, staying ahead depends on continual self-education, a lifelong mastery of new models, skills, and ideas. In a world that's changing fast, the ability to learn a new skill as fast as possible is quickly becoming a necessity, something that you can't do without. But the good news is that you don't need a natural gift to be better at learning something. So if you want to learn something new, and even when you have a full-time career, you can still be good at learning something new because we can learn that ability. We can learn the ways in which we can enhance this learning power. And it is very rightly said by Brian Herbert, the capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill, but the willingness to learn is a choice. And as smart people, as champions, I know you have made the right choice of being here, joining this session, listening to these ideas, and then applying these ideas. And I fairly know this, that because you have made this smart choice, this wise choice, you have willingness to grow, the capacity to learn, which is a gift, will enhance because then you will be able to build up the ability to learn, which is the skill. And in today's session, champions, I am going to share with you such amazing 4 easy steps that you can easily follow to become super learners. If you're excited for the same, give me a thumbs up. Great, let's move forward and let's learn from the first legend here, Warren Buffett, a well-known face all over the world. And he can rightly be put in the category of a super learner. Over the years, he has managed to keep himself updated about all the advancements that happen around him. He's very updated about it. And most of the times when he makes a public appearance, he seems to be very well informed technologically also, which is such an amazing aspect of his professional ambience that he creates. One of the habits that he has managed to follow regularly over years is that he spends 5 to 6 hours per day reading 5 newspapers, 500 pages of corporate reports each day to keep himself updated and in touch with his business and the ongoings around it, because that's what keeps him in touch with the recent things, with the updated things, with things that are changing at such a fast pace. And that brings us to our first learning of the day, champions, which is super learners read a lot. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to your body. That's a simple equation right there. It gives us the freedom to roam the expanse of space, time, history, and offer a deeper view of ideas, concepts, emotions, and body of knowledge, and amazing, amazing imagination scope. Your brain on books is active because it's growing, it's changing, making new connections and different patterns. And depending on the type of material you are reading, it changes. And highly successful learners read a lot, and they read a variety of things. Now, not only Warren Buffett, but a lot of successful people read a lot. Elon Musk grew up reading 2 books a day, according to his brother. That's what is reported. Bill Gates reads 50 books per year. Mark Zuckerberg reads at least one book every 2 weeks. Now, basis your bandwidth, basis your convenience, plus basis your interest, you can pick up the book and you can pick up the frequency of reading that book. But get that into your routine. Do not plan reading a book the way we plan most of the things, that whenever we will have time, we will do this. No, that time will never come. When you think about that, I will do it at my leisure time, that leisure time never arrives. That's a promise. That's the truth for all of us. We have to create that leisure time. So reading a book has to be part of my schedule. Start slow. If you are not a very avid reader, if you're not a very very willing reader, you don't like reading a lot, you like maybe watching videos a lot, even that is okay, as long as you are helping your brain to make connections. However, what happens is when you listen to an audio or when you watch a video, there are lesser connections being made. Why? Because when you listen to an audio, there's already a lot of opinions into it. I'm not talking about the facts, the way it is presented and all of that. And that gives you that tuning. When you watch a video, you're watching it the way the camera has seen it, right? But when you read a book, you are free to imagine it in your own way, completely. It gives you that expanse, it gives you that flexibility. And that helps the brain to make better connections. And that helps your brain to grasp things quickly. All right? So this idea really, really works. And let me also tell you, they say that in a world where information is the new currency, reading is the best source of continuous learning, knowledge, and acquiring more of that currency. And if you agree with me on that, give me a thumbs up. Great, great. Surely let me know what books you're going to pick up and how often are you going to read them. With this, let's move forward. Albert Einstein, one of the greatest scientists who ever lived, cannot be forgotten from the list of super learners. He contributed greatly to the field of science, and today, many of his theories act as a basis for research all over the world. He's so much into almost everything. And talking about his ability as a super learner, he was always a curious mind, wanting to know more and more. For him, it was a process of learning that intrigued him. It was the idea that he could learn and understand something new and meaningful, which gave him the urge and the ability to learn more and more at a faster pace than others. While we not might be Einstein, but we can always take a leaf or two from his book, right? So it is his ability to view learning as a process that gave him the ability to become a super learner. Well, I say we all can do that. How? By viewing learning as a process. Then that's our second point here, champions. Learning is an enjoyable, lifelong process, a self-directed and self-paced journey of discovery. Understanding any topic, idea, or new mindset requires not only keen observation, but more fundamentally, the sustained curiosity. We might all have experienced that when we like something new and we get really excited about learning something, the initial days or the initial journey is very, very fast. We learn very quickly, but then we lose the pace. So what is important in learning is not just how quickly you pick up in the initial part, but how sustained you are going to do that, right? So the sustenance is important, and that sustenance will come when your curiosity is sustained. And therefore, learning is an investment that usually pays for itself in increased earnings, right? Learn more, earn more. And more than ever, learning is for life. If you want to stay relevant, indispensable, and thrive in the changing world of work and personal life as well, you need to be updated and know things that are happening around you. Super learners value the process. They seek consistent improvement. They believe in that. And they keep mastering new principles, processes, worldviews, thinking models, etc. They don't restrict themselves, right? So that is what keeps them going. And I truly believe that learning is a journey, a discovery of new knowledge and it is not a destination. And as long as we believe in that, and as long as we follow this methodology, this principle, we will always be curious about knowing something more, moving forward, growing more and more. And that is what will help us have this pace enhanced, improved of learning something new. All right. If this sounds useful to you, give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Great, thank you. All right, now we're going to talk about J.K. Rowling, one of the most famous authors of 21st century. And by the way, those of you who don't know her, she's the author of the Harry Potter series, right? We have heard of the Harry Potter series at least. Great. And she's always been regarded as one of the most intellectual women of the century, and her writing speaks volumes about it. Over the years, she has always managed to keep herself relevant and updated. And that is because she's a super learner. And the quality that makes her the kind of super learner that she is the growth mindset that she has. To be very honest, while she was writing the Harry Potter series, it was all very exciting, not just for her, for the world as well. But what happened after that? When she was done writing all the books and the movies were made too, she got herself into understanding the world of those who are less privileged. And post that, she wrote new books and series and gave the world another blockbuster novel. That's what J.K. Rowling is for us, where she says that super learners adopt a growth mindset. Cultivating a growth or adaptable mindset can help us focus more on our more desirable goals in life, right? It may influence our motivation and could also make us readily able to see opportunities to learn and grow our abilities. The ability to keep an open mind, acquire better knowledge, and apply it when necessary can significantly and very, very powerfully improve our life and career, right? You agree with me on that. So we can't go wrong cultivating a growth mindset that revolves around the belief that you can improve intelligence, ability, and performance. When we believe in that, and then we build up this mindset, it can never go wrong because the seed is with a great intent. The seed of this thought is with extremely positive and progressive mindset, and it can never go wrong. And like Alvin Toffler, who's a writer, futurist, and a businessman known for his works discussing modern technologies, he rightly says, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. And if you agree with Alvin on that, give me a thumbs up right there. Great champions. Thank you so much for agreeing on that beautiful and powerful thought. And therefore, we must grow. We must learn with a growth mindset where we are ready to learn, unlearn, and relearn as well. Right. Let's move forward and let's meet our very, very favorite, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the missile man of India. He cannot be left out of the list of super learners. He is one of the greatest contributors to the advancement that our country has had over the years in the field of space and technology. But what's one thing that Mr. Kalam was before he was a scientist? He was a teacher. And that is a super quality every super learner must have. And honestly speaking, when we say teacher, we don't mean professional school or college teachers, right? We mean those who can share their knowledge with others, who have the willingness and have developed skills to do that. Teaching someone what you know is one of the best ways to retain your knowledge. When we talk about learning retention, teaching something to someone has the highest retention value. Highest retention value. So if you learn something and you let it go, you will forget about it in a short span of time. But there are certain things that you do that make you learn and retain it for a longer time. So when you learn by doing it, by teaching it to others, you remember it for a longer time. And that is a super quality of a super learner, which is they teach others what they know. Because teaching others what you know is one of the most effective ways to learn, remember, and recall new information, right? Psychologists, they call it a retrieval practice because it is one of the most reliable ways of building stronger memory traces because it's kind of a revision that you're doing, right? When you're teaching something to someone, let's take an example. You know how to cook some of you might have developed this interest during the lockdown period of cooking something, right? Some of you might have been a great cook, developing great cuisines at your home and making it for your family and everybody. But you know that when you have learned a recipe and you are called a master of it, everybody who comes to your home, they tell you that, this is something that I've heard great about you and I would definitely like to try that when you make it. So the best way to see if you really remember it is to teach it to someone. So when you are speaking out or narrating the recipe to someone, while you're doing it, you're not just telling them, you are also rewinding and revisioning the entire process. And in that entire process, if they have any questions and you get stuck, that gives you also a scope of improvement. Because if they ask you a question of something that you know about and you don't know the answer of it, that means that there is a gap, right? So learn by teaching someone else a topic is simple terms. You can quickly pinpoint the holes in your knowledge, right? That is such a powerful and empowering practice. A better way to learn, process, retain, and remember information is to learn half the time and share half the time. That's the best deal. That's the fair deal, right? And the ultimate test of your knowledge is your capacity to transfer it to another. As long as you're keeping it to yourself, it's no use. But the moment you decide, you have willingness to pass it on to others, and you develop the skills to do that, you do it on an ongoing process, on an ongoing basis, you not only improve them, you not only share information with others, you are building your own learning capabilities as well. Sounds good? Give me a thumbs up. Awesome. Now, this brings us to do a quick summary of 4 easy steps to become a super learner. Let's quickly do the summary, champions. The first one is super learners read a lot. And if you are still not a reader, I would recommend please make up a schedule for the same. Pick up the easiest book that you can think of, but something of your choice. Maybe politics, maybe sports, maybe psychology, maybe anything, right? Stories or anything. Hindi, English, Marathi, any language. Pick a book. That is what is important. And not just pick a book. Pick up a bookmark as well. To be very honest, whenever you buy a book, pick a bookmark as well. And also schedule your reading and be honest about it. Be very disciplined about it. So when you read a lot, gives your brain a lot of scope of rewiring and making connections more and more. Super learners view learning as a process. They respect the entire process. They feel that when I learn something, that's not an achievement. It's just another milestone and I need to go further from here. And that's what keeps them growing, because it's not just the start. It is the sustained curiosity that takes you higher and longer. So that is where we need to focus. Super learners adopt a growth mindset. They think about what else can I do? They don't stop themselves, right? Like J.K. Rowling's story, right? So we keep on growing on that. We think about what else, what beyond this, and that's what keeps us going. And the last one is super learners teach others what they know. They are super teachers. They have great desire to help people learn what they have learned. And in this entire process of revisioning and retrieval of the information that they already have, they also keep practicing and ensuring that they know what they know in the most effective way. And they also get to know if there are any loopholes or any gaps in their understanding as well. So extremely enriching experience. And while we have done this summary, champions, I want to congratulate you like always. You are all set to win. Learning joy rides with us. You're most welcome to connect with me. My name is Yasha Vatsa from Star Consulting Global, and I'll be happy to connect back with you over LinkedIn. I wish you all the very best. All my wise and beautiful learners, I wish you great time ahead, great learning ahead. Keep learning, keep growing. Always be happy. And whenever we learn something new, there's no other happiness which is bigger than this. So keep learning, be happy. Thank you, champions. Namaste.